finally I'm getting to check out the 6th anniversary. And here is the character in this special occasion. Her name is Enya, and they made her look like the Lucius, you know, the goddess of the Langrisser world. I'm pretty sure that's right. So does that mean that Enya is like the goddess of Roland's world? Does they both look similar? And I'm pretty sure his timeline takes place separately from Matthew's. That's kind of hardcore. I kind of want a playable Lucius now. It'd be pretty sick since she is pretty forgotten. At least that's how I think. Because I haven't seen her in ages. Like I haven't seen her from like any special events. None of that. So Enya is magic who's part of the Origin, Euless, and Mythical faction who can be Holy or Mage class. Her talent has her instant increase. At the end of action, you can choose to Prophecy an ally first skill for the next action for 1 turn, and reduce the cooldown for 5 turns when dealing damage from the fulfilled Prophecy, which has a cooldown. When the Prophecy is fulfilled, she gets Pilot that increases her range that accumulates up to 3 stacks. Wow. So when she reaches the max amount, she can act again after ally's Prophecy is fulfilled. I feel like there's been way too many cases where these like mages and like some few other characters gotta do this like one specific condition that gives them like this permanent range and like some other stuff. But man, like a natural like 5 range, that's a first if you count out the scepter. And because of all this, obviously her downside is gonna be her taking a while to ramp up, just like anyone else. One of her unique skill has a passive from what it looks like. When the prophecy is fulfilled, she gets immunity to being silenced for 2 turns. This is a heal skill. If she has 2 or more lead stack, then you can choose an additional target. Oh wow, you definitely gotta have the Night Bloom on her. Since it started to look like that she's a support character, also most likely the lead and pilot are like the same thing, the same talent stack. This one also has a passive where fulfilling a prophecy reduces all of her skill cooldown by 1. It's a single target that does more damage for each bled that she has. This is nearly the same as Borrelia's single target skill, but the skill cooldown trigger is slightly different. This skill here, when the prophecy is fulfilled, allies on the other side of legend have their stats increase and damage increases in battle. When they act again, they dispel 2 debuffs and immune to it. Wait, so I just realized, the skill icon. It's the Euless faction. She's a Euless faction buffer. That's actually pretty crazy. Hold up. So wait, what? So are you saying that you can get an all stat immunity? Oh wait, it's saying that it's just for that current turn when you dispel it. Yeah. I was kind of freaking out right there. But yeah, I got it. I understood. She has this AoE that clears terrain effects while healing allies in range and reduces trigger cooldown that had been triggered by 1. For every pilot stack, dispels 1 buff on the enemy and dispels debuffs for allies. You know, it's about time that we got someone that's similar to Maya where they can like clean up special terrains. And also this thing is like the same thing as Nif's AoE but like way better. Lastly, her Thxs is a summon skill. She summons an illusion of another non-summon ally and creates water mirror around her 2 times for 2 turns. After using it, she can act again. While water mirror is present, the skill is replaced with Destiny Sequence and is removed when the action is out of range of water mirror. In PvP, each character can only be selected once. The illusion have the initial state and inherits all of the effects it currently has and are considered Euless units while taking 50% more damage when coexisting with water mirror and outside of its range. When the illusion dies, the cooldown of the skill increases by 1. So the secondary part of this Thxs has a passive where her talent skill can be used on the enemy. When it's triggered, she gets more of her talent stack, and if it triggers for the enemy, then the cooldown is increased by 2. If the number of her talent stack is maxed, the enemy is stunned after the prophecy. Otherwise, it gets replaced with immediate end in PvP. So this thing has 2 different options, starting with the team choice for the water mirror. Allied forces within range take less AoE damage, and at the end of action, you get healed. The assist option is used on an ally to take less damage and immune to all debuffs for 2 turns. If the target is the water illusion, the displacement is also triggered, causing them to swap places with the main body. So yeah, I actually had to look it up in Banner's news to find it. But looking at Enya, our 6th anniversary character is a support DPS, with support being her strongest role. She has damaging skills, but it looks like they aren't like anything too impressive. Like you're not gonna get a lot of mileage out of it. But man, new faction buffers are always pretty hype. Nightbloom is definitely gonna be her like #1 best in slots, since it looks like that's one or two of her only issue that I see so far. It should work when she also applies her talent buff, maybe? Like if her turn ends and her talent skill pop up to choose an ally, it should work. And that talent skill also makes her a walking clock, which is pretty frequent, where you gotta most likely start her up to use it more often. I just wish that she had better damaging skills to make really good use of her insane range. That's my only minor critique about her, and I don't really have much to say about her 3C. Like it's great to defend against whatever situation that you're in, and that's really what it's only good for. Whether it's like rush AoE or like rush single targets. Let's say you have a tank, you can apply that one assist skill on it, and they should be able to tank pretty well. There are a few questions that I do have about the summon, like does it inherit like the skills too? So like can we have like 2 tanks or like support doing their like usual thing? That would be like way too crazy if that's like the case. So far, Enya looks really good. I'm sure she's gonna be flexible in any kind of situations, as it is with most support characters, especially for the ULS team. Just make sure that you have a Nightbloom ready for her, otherwise just steal it from someone else or just settle with something else like the Red Moon. She is gonna be very selective with her skills, not only with what they do, but also because they're all so good. 2 new soldiers. So the first one we're taking a look at is a Flyer. 20% to their attack and defense. When fighting enemies with HP equal or less than, their attack and defense is increased by 20% more. At first I was kinda like, Then I realized that if you are using the Ragnarok, then you're gonna be getting that almost guaranteed basically. The second is a Mage. If no damage was dealt, 30% of their HP is restored. At the start of the next turn, when entering battle, their attack is increased and damage received is reduced. Oh, not too bad, not too bad. If you are genuinely trying to survive a lot more, then Crystal Warlock are still gonna be the best since they're a lot more consistent, especially with their healing. This one here is a mix if you're worried about the lack of damage. Oh no, we got an exclusive for Jayce. Oh no, guys buckle in. So it's a helmet, alright, where if damage has been dealt, the cooldown of the skill with the shortest cooldown is reduced by 1. For every 1 ally inflicted with Arcane, he ignores up to 20% magic defense. So this means that he gets to act again more often cause it's something that you would always use to first approach and attack. I mean it could be a lot worse to be honest, considering how dumb and scary that he is. Overall a good improvement but like nothing too major. With the casting skills, first is Bernie. After using Iron-Blooded Ambition, yeah I'm pretty sure that's his like at the again skill that he gets from his SP I believe. So after using this, buffs will not be wait, hold up. That doesn't sound right. Let me keep reading. The movement power of this action is the movement power remaining when using the skill and can add the... Yeah, I definitely got that wrong. Wait, what is Iron-Blooded Ambition then? Oh, it's Overlord Ambition. It's the name of his 3C. It's kind of been a while since I used Bernhardt. So yeah, honestly I don't really see any issue with his mobility if I'm gonna be real. Cause his SP form really helped him a lot with that issue, along with making him a lot more usable as an attacker. It is a huge W. Like PvE, he is quite spammy with the skills, as he always usually takes like every 1 turn to set up and then rinse and repeat. So it was kind of annoying using him, especially if you're trying to guard with him. PvP, the same reason, while allowing him to rush even at the first turn, making good use of the Wings accessory. So he has 2 Ethigan skills now. Not that he really needed it, but he got it. The second is Ares. When the talent clears the effect of sweeping, the cooldown of Dreadnought is reduced by 1 and the cooldown of his random damage skill is reduced by 1 for each sweeping. If Dreadnought is referring to his 3C, then I don't really see this as that great. It's just a tiny improvement since it does have a high cooldown. I think if it was the other way around, it would be even more better. Third is for Transcender. Extinction power can accumulate +1 points, and if you have not dealt any damage at the end of action, he gets 1 stack of extinction power, which can trigger Twist of Fate to get his shield and has a revive. I really don't know anything about Transcender. The only thing that I do know about him is his 3C able to swap HP with the enemies and that he has a shield when his HP is below 50%. So his survivability is going to be a lot better now since it's going to be guaranteed due to reviving. Last is for Toma. He gets an extra range after dealing fixed damage. The cooldown for Sky Armament is reduced by 1 and the fixed damage while in Sky Armament is increased by 30%. I know this form that he gets has an insane cooldown. If I could remember on top of my head right now, I would say 6, which is, yeah, a lot. So he's got to be constantly attacking. And he does have AoE, so it shouldn't be too bad, but still, that cooldown is insanely high. For some of the interesting banners that Cian got, a rare with Enya on it, a Destiny banner with Z2, a Hero Wishlist banner, an Equipment Wishlist banner, a rerun with Wenham, Apotheosis, and Awakener. As for some of the content that they got, a new Border League chapter, the 6th anniversary farmable events, an equipment bag, and a hero bag that should go all the way up to Xeon and Tiana, a double and a triple gated fate, a crystal spending event to get Tiara's music skin along with other rewards, a 14-day login event, Jack's lucky treasure, a bunch of share event for 50 crystals, a new PvP event that's called Summit Arena. It's pretty interesting because in every phase, you can choose to ban 2 of the 3 characters in the 3 column slots. Then whoever isn't banned, you're forced to pick them. Then it repeats. It does have its own rewards like killing 10 enemies. That's pretty much similar to other PvP similar events. And this thing is time limited as well, which I would guess would last until the end of this anniversary. We got another new thing that's called the Deep Sea Vault. So you complete missions within 14 days in order to increase the level and earn rewards, such as these things called Vault Crystals. Apparently it's permanent, and the rewards and missions and stuff like that will reset every 2 weeks. Looking at the layout, it's very similar to the Eternal Flame Forge, but the items to exchange with the crystals are very small, just some random quips and martial spirits. It should cover all the way up to the Prismatic Destroyer AoE weapon, and from what I read, the equipment should all have a equal drop rate. And lastly, we'll be able to check out our data and progress throughout your entire Langrisser journey, along with rewards at the end. So that was about like at least most of everything that the CN got as their content, but I do want to show some stuff that they mentioned in their anniversary livestream. So a couple of stuff that they showed is what I already covered, but some of the other stuff that they mentioned was a new SP unit. And some people are speculating that it's Thxs due to resemblance in the design. And I could honestly see it. I wonder how they're gonna do that. Because I feel like Thxs is already good enough. It was just more like Rosentio Power Crafter. They even announced SP soldiers. How would that even work? And how would you even upgrade them? I mean, I'm fairly certain that they're already out as of right now since I'm late to this news. But imagine seeing this for the first time like on announcement. And honestly, the flyer soldier wasn't like all that bad, to be honest. I honestly believe that they didn't really need to upgrade these soldiers, but some of you guys you may already seen maybe, but I haven't taken a look at them yet, so my opinion could change about like how I feel about these upgraded soldiers. Some of the other interesting stuff that they mentioned are the player statistics in Apex Arena. They talk about stuff like they wanted to add how many times you won on this map and that map, and how many times what characters that you use. I honestly think it's a nice quality of life change, something I would definitely like come back and look often, and would love to see like other players as well. Definitely my Angelina sits at the top as my most used character in Apex Arena, as she was last year too. They brought up a new type of PvE event. By the info I'm seeing, looks like it's being compared to the Endless Voyage in Skyline Tactic, maybe in terms of gameplay, or perhaps it'll be even bigger than those two. If they are that confident that it'll be bigger than even the Endless Voyage, then it has me intrigued. I will take their word on it. Because I personally feel like it's their best event, and so far nothing has been able to top it. And if they are going to be that confident, if I'm reading this right, I have hope. They showed off a bunch of new characters that's going to be coming in the future, a free SSR that you can get, I believe, and you also have the choice to get SSR shards instead. Even the possibility of a dead or alive collab. I sort of heard of this game before. I think it's a fighting game, and now that I really think about it, I remember watching like a video that there were like some kind of backlash behind it. I think it was about the jiggle physics, and I'm being serious about that. I believe that was the issue. and I believe I've seen this at an Evo event too. With some of the new skins, an Echo Light for Enya and the soldier skin for the new Mage Soldier. Absolute fire. I honestly rock with the Enya skin. To get this Musician Tiara skin, you gotta spend nearly 40,000 crystals in the event, just like how it was from the previous one, and you can also get the past skins as well. In the store, a summer skin for Z2 and Kaguya. Only Z2 got released for all servers, but not Kaguya for some reason. So for us global players and for other servers as well, we gotta wait for the 6th anniversary if you're planning on getting the Kaguya one. A Grenier music skin from the 6th anniversary data event, then a martial arts skin for Tatalia. Not bad. I believe they take inspiration from Brash, as they do have a similar design, but I'm sure it's a coincidence. So that was about everything, if not most of everything that the CN got in this 6th anniversary update. Lots of great stuff to look forward to. I can't wait. Even though there is the Captain Commando collab right before this, I'm really not as excited for it, mostly due to the amount of content that it lacks. It does feel like that they were saving a bunch of their resources so they could go hard on its anniversary, and it kinda really shows. But that's all I got. If you guys did enjoy this video, feel free to like and subscribe and see more, and feel free to let me know down in the comments how you guys feel about the 6th anniversary. There was a lot of crazy stuff in it, like Enya, the announcement of SB soldiers, and some new exciting content. I'm pretty hyped for it. So yeah, thanks for watching. Your fellow Z.